Creating a discussion forum on Blackboard. Getting logged on. Access Blackboard from the Columbus City Schools staff page. Use the appropriate credentials to log into Blackboard. Now I will show you how to do this. Here's the Columbus City Schools staff page. When you click Staff from the home page, this list of links shows up. All you need to do is click Blackboard and it will take you to the Blackboard home page. What you'll do here is enter your username and password to get access to your courses. It's usually set up that your employee ID number is your username and you'll have made a password or maybe changed your username. So I'm going to put mine in and get logged on. And here is my Blackboard home page. Now that you're logged on, I will show you how to enter a course. Select which course you would like to create a discussion forum in. If you teach more than one section of the same class, you will be able to copy the discussion forum into other sections. So here's the home page for Blackboard, and where you'll want to look is here under My Courses. These should automatically be populated for you every year with your students, everybody enrolled in the class. Now, just a side note, it does say unavailable, but that means unavailable to students, not to you, so we can still access it. So the way to choose your course, select one that you are an instructor. I'm going to pick my first chemistry class here. I'm going to click it, and it will take me to the home page of this course. Now, I haven't done anything with this class, and if you haven't done anything with your class that you're choosing to make a discussion board in, this is something similar to what you'll see. Now, you have successfully entered your course, and what the next step is to create the discussion board. I will show you how to do that now. Creating the discussion forum. This will include instructions for the students and an overview of settings to choose from. To create a discussion board from the home page of your course, where you want to look first is on the left side on this menu, and you're simply going to click Discussions. This is what will come up, and it is very easy to find the button that says Create Forum, and what you are going to do is press it. Now you have some information to fill in here. What you want to fill in first is the name of your forum. I'm going to set mine up similar to how I had it on the example of your course. So I'm going to call this What is your hypothesis? Now I need a description. And what you want to put in the description is any instructions for your students. So when they go to create a thread, this is what's going to pop up, and this will tell them what they should be posting in this forum. So what I've done is I've just copied the information from the example you saw, and I'm going to use that as my description here. So I even clearly state, here's the assignment. After I've given them the lab question, so what happens to the mass of substances in a contained experiment, and from there they have to come up with a hypothesis and they need to post it. And you'll notice in the settings that they will not be able to see other people's hypotheses until they've posted their own. So that kind of cuts down on the copying, and I like that setting a lot, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Before I show you how to do that though, I want to finish up here kind of giving you some ideas on how you can do this in your own class. Now, We all know science classes, you have to teach labs, and there's a huge component on forming your own hypothesis and things like that. So if there's a lab that you already do, instead of having them write it out, you can have this set up for them on Blackboard. Or you can do this as an entry and exit ticket where they form their hypothesis when they get in, and then they write their conclusion before they leave about whether or not their hypothesis was supported or rejected. Now, the second part of the student's assignment is to review other people's hypotheses. Now, this is where the collaboration comes in. Students will make suggestions or give compliments or maybe ask questions if somebody makes a hypothesis that's a little unclear, but the common goal is that all the students are helping each other produce their best work. Now, this is where you play an important part as the facilitator of this discussion forum. You really will have to guide some students on how to act in a professional digital setting and monitor and make sure that when they're giving their suggestions that they're being constructive about it. Now, the last part of the assignment is to look at the comments you get on your hypothesis. And it says here to consider any suggestions before you write your lab procedure. So hopefully your classmates will have given you some good advice, and you can take that into consideration to produce a really successful lab. Now I want to go into a little bit of the settings, and the second part, after you complete your instructions and description, is the form availability. If you're doing this ahead of time because you are Teacher of the Year and you're planned 3 months in advance and you don't want to make it available, you would click no. But if you want it available, if you're doing it a day or two before, you would say yes. Or if you know when this lab is going to be happening, you can put in the date. I'm starting this lab on June 16th. It's going to be the entry ticket. And so I want to make it available at 7 a.m. You can just choose from here. It looks a little easier. I'm going to make it available at 7 so that nobody gets on there the night before, and I can turn it off that night. So let's say they can only do this that day. They have until 11:59 p.m. to post their hypothesis. Now, the rest of the forum settings are here under number 3, and this very first option is my favorite setting, which I think you'll grow to love too. So, viewing threads / replies. You can either choose standard view, or what I recommend is that the participants must create a thread in order to view other threads in this forum. And like I said before, it just takes away that option for copying and pasting directly from the discussion board and just waiting around for somebody else to post so you get an idea. So it becomes a little more organic, more of a genuine thought for the students. For grading, I recommend choosing the first option here, no grading in forum. I typically find it easier to print off a roster and grade posts as I circulate the room, or maybe after all the students have posted their hypotheses and their responses after class, so I can do it all at once. The Blackboard option is here, but it doesn't really work with Infinite Campus or any other online gradebooks, and you would essentially be entering the same grade twice. It's really only useful if your entire course is contained on Blackboard, and what I'm showing you here today is just how to make one or several assignments on Blackboard, not your entire course. Now, what the subscribe option is that students can sign up to get an email every time somebody posts either something in the entire forum or if somebody responds to their particular thread. So I allow it just in case if a student wants to keep up on it, if it's a several-day assignment. Sure, I would be happy that they're getting informed if they have a smartphone and they get email directly to their phone. It's a good option to keep them reminded and informed in real time. Now for the create and edit settings, I certainly do not allow anonymous posts. I want to hold students accountable for what they say, And I also leave off the option here that allows authors to delete their own posts. So if they do post something that's inappropriate, they don't get to delete it, only I do. That again keeps them a little more accountable and helps them think a little bit more before they post something. Now, allow members to create new threads is already selected and you can't change it because above, when you chose that you have to post a thread in order to see everybody else's, this is automatic. Now, allow file attachments. Maybe if I was doing a project or I wanted them to upload a picture of the experiment they did or the setup, I would do this. But for posting a hypothesis, it's really not necessary. So I'm going to click that off just to make sure no students are uploading pictures or anything or doing more work than they really have to. They don't need to put it in a Word document or anything to upload. They can just type it right there. Now this setting, allow users to reply with quote. What this will do is copy the original post in somebody who's replying to it. So it's helpful for students when they go to reply, they have the original content right there. So I recommend choosing that. Now this setting, force moderation of posts. If you select it on, what will happen is that you will have to click a button, click OK, for every time a student wants to make a post after you've reviewed it and that you say it's appropriate and it's fine and it's good to post. I typically do not choose to have this on when it's an in-class real-time discussion forum. I'm going to be walking around the room and I'll be able to see what the students are posting and they'll know that I'll see if it's inappropriate. So for my sanity, I choose to not leave it on. Now what this would be good for is if it was a long-term discussion assignment and you wanted to check when the students were doing this homework or from home that their posts were on point, then it'd be a good time to turn it on. But for this specific assignment, I say leave it off. Now this last set of options here, additional options, the first one, allow post tagging. What that would do is allow students to tag other students in their post and they would be notified about it. It's not a necessary thing, especially if it's an individual assignment. And then the last option here is to allow members to rate posts. This could be valuable if you wanted to do peer review, but for this I don't find it necessary since I'm going to be doing a lot of the review and reading, and it'll be more of a formative assessment when I'm reading this content that the student actually put. Well, that's it for the settings, so if you're happy with it, you click Submit, and next I will show you how to make a post. Making the first post, responding, and deleting. We will walk through the process your students will be expected to do and demonstrate the process of deleting posts which may be necessary during facilitation of the discussion forum. Once you've created your discussion board, this is the screen that will show. You'll see your description is here, and to enter it to create a thread, you want to click on the title here. From this screen, you'll want to click Create Thread in order to create your thread. Here's the description. You'll scroll down and give your post a title. I'm going to call it My Hypothesis. And I will type my hypothesis here. And to post it, all I need to do is click Submit. Now it's there for anybody to see, and if I want to respond to it, I will click it, click the reply button, and give my compliment, suggestion, or question. Again, submit, and there they are. Now if this is out of line and I want to delete it or I think it's inappropriate, I can come back to the top to take it back to the main page. Simply click this box on the left and then click delete. And now there are no threads.